So I seen a report that the Milwaukee Bucks have decided to name Kevin Porter Jr. their starting point guard for this season. And I don't know, this move is pretty intriguing to me. Now, me personally, I've always been a Kevin Porter Jr. fan. I know that he has his issues off the court, but as a pure basketball player, I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. has it all. He has the playmaking ability, the scoring ability, the shot making ability. Yeah, he's just a full package, and it's kind of just been his character for his entire career that's kind of hindered him. But for some odd reason, every situation that he goes to in the NBA, he always finds a role, and we've seen it yet again this season with the Clippers and the Milwaukee Bucks. And going into next year with this move, I feel like it's very beneficial for the Bucks, and I'll explain why. But before I get into that, I ask that y'all go down and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel day by day, and I really appreciate it. But besides that, let's get into the video. So let's do a quick recap over Kevin Porter Jr.'s career so far. Now, so far, he's kind of been a journeyman for somewhat of a journeyman. He kind of really hasn't found a home. I mean, Houston kind of was a home until that whole off-the-court situation went down. But yeah, he's just been a very solid dude that provides a lot of production on any team that he's on. I mean, we see with the Cavaliers for his first 2 seasons, I believe, before they traded him to the Rockets. He played pretty alright, but then some locker room stuff happened, and then they traded him. On Houston, that's where he really blossomed as a player. Now, yes, the Rockets weren't really competitive, but just looking at the box score, I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. was a pretty productive player, and I'd say it was an overall positive player. One of the only positive players on that Rockets team, other than Şengün, probably, like a sophomore, rookie year Şengün. But yeah, looking at his Houston stats, his best year, he averaged 19, 5, and 6. Showed that he could be your lead ball handler. 6 assists is pretty decent for a guy that's kind of like a combo guard. And then he misses a season in the NBA. He finds himself back in the NBA with the Clippers this season. Played pretty alright. I feel like they didn't really utilize him that well because they just have like a lot of guard play. And Chris Dunn was, their best defender off the bench at the guard position. So I feel like Chris Dunn definitely stole a lot of his minutes. Goes to the Bucks. Kind of puts up similar production to the Clippers. And then once Dame goes down with the deep vein thrombosis, we see a spike in Kevin Porter Jr.'s productivity. In the month of April, he was averaging around 16 a game. He was the Bucks' lead playmaker. Also, that was the month Giannis, I believe, averaged 12 assists. So him and Giannis have shown to have a pretty good, pick and roll game. They could both distribute the ball pretty well. So I feel like that's one of the main positives with having Kevin Porter Jr. in the starting lineup to start this season out. I feel like it wouldn't hinder Giannis that much because they kind of have a rapport with each other already. Giannis was the lead playmaker, and I feel like going into this season, we'll definitely see more of Giannis being a lead playmaker and kind of Kevin Porter Jr. being a secondary playmaker. I feel like that's the best position to put Kevin Porter Jr. in because, again, he is kind of like a combo guard, 6'4". He's a shot creator at heart, so having him just score the ball and then being a secondary playmaker, I feel like that could really benefit Milwaukee in a way. And then also the production he's going to put up as a starter for the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, if you look at his per 36 minutes, he's averaging 21, 7, and 7 on 48% from the field, 41% from 3, and 87% from the line. And that's just this season, and that's his best statistical output if he got per 36. Now, I take per 36 stats with a grain of salt, obviously, because that's basically the stats that you would infer that a player would score. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Porter Jr. just gets back to his Houston production. Because if you're consistently putting up those stats that you had while you were in a situation where you were a starter in Houston, that's a really positive sign that a guy has a lot of impact, and I believe Kevin Porter Jr. is one of those guys. Now, for the Bucks as a whole, I mean, if Kevin Porter Jr. gets back to the Houston Kevin Porter Jr. production, Giannis has that guard again that you could pair him with that we've seen for the past few years that the Bucks tried. He won a championship with Drew Holiday, obviously. He ran it with Eric Bledsoe a couple years before that. They tried the Dame experiment, didn't go as planned, and then gotta have a safety net with Kevin Porter Jr. if he gets back to his Houston production or something similar to it. Not to mention they have Cole Anthony off the bench, which also is kind of similar as a player to Kevin Porter Jr., but I'd say Kevin Porter Jr. is better just because he's the better playmaker than Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's kind of like a spark plug kind of guy. I mean, he had a season where I believe he averaged like 17 a game, but I feel like Cole Anthony is better off the bench. But yeah, Giannis has a point guard again that's able to distribute the basketball. I really do feel like the Bucks are going to run the playmaking a lot through Giannis this season, seeing what he did in April for last season. And then you have another guy that's pretty solid at it too, in Kevin Porter Jr. And then just looking at this Bucks team in general, I mean, they're not bad. And in a weak Eastern Conference, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I've been seeing Tatum, rehabbing and stuff. Who knows what the Celtics are doing? I might make a video on that, but the Eastern Conference isn't what it was last season. So I could see the Milwaukee Bucks being a pretty alright playoff team. Now, that I don't think they'd be contending even if they got the Houston Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr., MVP Giannis, Kyle Kuzma bouncing back from whatever he was doing. The Bucks, I'd say they're pretty alright, like a middle of the tier playoff team. That's like the realistic expectation for them going into this season if everything goes right for them. Obviously, they added Miles Turner, which is kind of like a better version of Brook Lopez. But yeah, I really do feel like Kevin Porter Jr., if he's able to get back to the production he was putting in Houston, which I believe he will, because we've seen signs of it from last season, it will really help this Bucks team. And I can't wait to see what, the Milwaukee Bucks and Kevin Porter Jr. do this season. Along with Giannis, I feel like they work very well together as a pair. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Kevin Porter Jr. will bounce back to the production he was putting up with Houston? How do you see the fit with Giannis and Kevin Porter Jr. or the Bucks as a whole? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.